Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Tony Sandlaven.
And I'm Brittany Ehrman. Thanks for joining us.
Governor Mike Pence will sign multiple bills into law tomorrow to combat drug abuse. The bills will increase enforcement, treatment, and prevention as an approach to address drug problems in Indiana. Pence said in a statement, quote, "Drug abuse problems are not unique to our state, but I'm determined to meet this challenge head on here in Indiana." Among the bills, legislation will focus on Indiana's ongoing issue with methamphetamine. Pence continued to say that the bills will mark a positive step in combating drugs, specifically relating to meth. The new laws hit home for Muncie, as Delaware County has the highest number of meth busts in the state.
It was an eventful day here at Ball State as one famous actor came to visit the university. RJ Mitty, a motivational speaker and actor from the television series Breaking Bad, came to talk to students with his presentation, Overcoming Adversity, Turning a Disadvantage into an Advantage. It discussed how people with disabilities should be treated the same as those without. We interviewed RJ to listen to what he had to say on the subject.
When you see someone with a disability, I don't care who you are, I don't care what business you're in, something will pop into your head, and I find this word is very similar to disability, is liability. When you are a business owner and you see someone with a physical disability, or you see something wrong, and mental disability is hard because no one sees it, so no one, if you don't see it, a lot of times no one cares. And so you'll have a war inside you that no one sees, so no one really cares, and when you're dealing with something, it affects you twice as hard. But when you're dealing with these organizations, a lot of times they look at that as a liability. And I think the hardest thing is reminding them that a disability is not a liability. It's a strength. It's knowledge. It's an opportunity for you personally to learn something about who you are and what you can do that without that, you would never be that person. Without my disability, I would have never got Breaking Bad.
A historic visit that includes meetings with Cuban President Raul Castro and a state dinner tonight at the Palace of the Revolution. CNN's Scott McLean has been covering every step of this historic trip and has more.
Pomp and circumstance marked President Obama's first full day in Cuba. First, a visit to the Jose Marti Memorial, a man who fought for Cuban independence from Spain more than a century ago. In the guest book, Obama left behind a message that Marti's passion for liberty, freedom, and self-determination lives on in the Cuban people today. The official welcome came at the Palace of the Revolution, where Obama met with President Raul Castro behind closed doors.
We have a half a century of work to catch up on.
Afterwards, Castro said relations could only be normalized when the embargo ends and the U.S. vacates Guantanamo Bay.
The blockade stands as the most important obstacle to our economic development and the well-being of the Cuban people. That's why its removal will be of the essence to normalize bilateral relations.
After more than 5 very difficult decades, the relationship between our governments will not be transformed overnight. We continue, as President Castro indicated, to have some very serious differences, including on democracy and human rights.
Obama noted his visit is proof of newfound respect between the two countries, but experts say it's not without its challenges.
The president has to do a real diplomatic dance of not meeting Fidel Castro, making sure he talks to dissidents.
In Havana, Cuba, I'm Scott McLean.
The Latino Student Union put together an event this past weekend at Cornerstone Center for the Arts, and it brought Hispanic and Latino culture to the Muncie area. It's called a quinceañera. The event is a celebration of a girl's 15th birthday, and it's the first of its kind in Muncie. The Latino Student Union wanted to give 3 girls the quinceañera of their dreams, and the mayor of Muncie approved. Mayor Dennis Tyler attended the event and wrote a proclamation. He says he's happy to see diversity in the Muncie community.
It shows what a great diverse community we have, how much respect we have for different cultures. I want them to know that we're happy that they're here and for them to feel that way when they leave here.
Alicia Vasquez was one of the 3 girls who participated in the quince. She says she has mixed feelings about the event, but thinks it's an important part of her life.
I am happy, excited, and nervous at the same time. For me, I do think it's quite essential to have because it's fun and it signifies a girl being a woman.
And showed you many of the traditions that happen during the event. One of them, Los Zapatillas, which is the changing of shoes from flats to heels, followed by Un Brindis,
Al centro y salud, señores!
Which is a toast to the girls for entering womanhood. Latino Student Union President Carlos Mata says he was very pleased with the results.
I think it's going really well, better than expected. Probably the best part was the touch when the mothers were talking to the girls, how they're grateful for everything. For me, it makes my job easier. It makes my job a lot more worth it when they're grateful for what they got.
The Latino Student Union President also says he hopes to make this an event that happens every year. Now, Tony, this was an absolutely amazing event to attend because I've never been to a quinceañera before.
Yeah, I haven't either, and it was really cool to see, Mayor Dennis Tyler was there, and you can even tell even in that interview, it seemed like it was quite the time. A lot of loud music, a lot of people dancing, having a good time, celebrating something very special in Latino culture for sure.
Most definitely. And on my way to the quinceañera, I could not get over about how cold it was.
Yeah, the wind has been crazy, especially today. I think we were right around in the 50s or so, but I still had to wear a heavy coat because I was walking outside, I almost got blown over by the wind that we had today. I'm not really a small person either, so it was real difficult walking to classes, but Kaylee Plutchell is here to tell us a little bit more about the weather that we have today and what's in store for the coming days.
Well, yes, those windy conditions will continue throughout the rest of this week. Currently, Muncie is at 45 degrees. Winds a little bit lower tonight. Clear skies out there. Currently, we could see some clouds out there, but again, no rain in the forecast for the next few days. But upcoming in weather, we are talking about a warm-up, which is a good thing. Rain chances along with these warm temperatures and your Easter forecast. All that and more coming up.
When NewsLink Indiana returns, the FBI claims to have an alternative way to crack the iPhone.
And Donald Trump in Muncie, it could happen. We'll have this and more when NewsLink Indiana returns.
Heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
The Department of Justice has announced it wants to cancel tomorrow's hearing with Apple. After pressuring Apple to help gain access to the iPhone of Syed Farouk, the gunman in the San Bernardino shooting, the DOJ now says it may have found a way to unlock Farouk's phone without Apple's assistance. In a court filing today, the DOJ said an outside party demonstrated a possible method of gaining access to the phone. Apple had been fighting a court order that stated it must comply with the FBI to gain access to the phone, saying finding such a method could potentially allow the government or hackers to break into similar iPhones.
Governor Mike Pence is due to sign into law the Enrolled Act bill tomorrow morning. The bill will eliminate the I-STEP test taken by students statewide and also establishes a panel made up of 23 members who will search for possible alternatives to the exam. This bill comes as a result of scores being far lower than normal following complications with changes to the exam. The test will officially be eliminated in July of 2017.
Presidential candidate Donald Trump delivered a speech to the pro-Israel group AIPAC tonight, providing his stance on conflicts in the Middle East. Before the speech, Trump made the case that he is, quote, the most pro-Israel candidate seeking the GOP nomination. During his speech, Trump tried appealing to the group by condemning the United Nations.
The United Nations is not a friend of democracy. It's not a friend to freedom. It's not a friend even to the United States of America, where, as you know, it has its home. And it surely is not a friend to Israel.
The other four remaining candidates also spoke in front of AIPAC tonight, weighing in on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
Former Indiana Republican Party Chairman Mike McDaniel said there is a good chance Indiana will be a presidential campaign stop for several Republicans, including Donald Trump and John Kasich. Indiana has a history of being a hot spot for presidential campaigns, with President Barack Obama actually speaking at Ball State University in 2008. Former President Bill Clinton, as well as President John F. Kennedy, speaking in Muncie in 1960. It is unknown if any of the Democratic Party presidential runners will be visiting Indiana.
Ahead of tomorrow's presidential primaries in Utah, Arizona, and Idaho, Senator Ted Cruz has picked up another endorsement, this time from Utah Governor Gary Herbert. Governor Herbert says that Cruz has traditional conservative values that reflect upon the state of Utah.
As I've listened to the discussions and that we've had over the past weekend, I'll tell you today, we're going to put out a press release, but I guess we can say it now, and that is that I will, in tomorrow night's Tuesday night caucus meeting, I will join with Mitt Romney in voting for Ted Cruz. Senator Ted Cruz from Texas, I think, does exhibit the constitutional values, the conservative values that reflect Utah. I've persuaded that he will join with what I'm trying to do on the National Governors Association stage of pushing back on the constant overreach of the federal government.
A Muncie man who attacked his ex-girlfriend with a meat cleaver was sentenced today to 9 years in prison. 24-year-old Justin Charles Culverhouse pleaded guilty to aggravated battery. Culverhouse was arrested in September of 2014 after police were called to his apartment on West University Avenue. The judge overseeing the sentence said Culverhouse was suffering from a mental condition and recommended he be placed in a State Department of Correction facility where he can receive treatment.
Well, coming up, it appears as if warmer temperatures are on the way, but they may come with a chance of storms.
We'll have your full weather forecast after this.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Brittany, I got to tell you, the weather today looked nice, and it has really for the last couple of days, but it's been kind of chilly, awfully windy, you know, kind of interested to see whether or not we're going to get back to the warmer weather we had kind of around the St. Patrick's Day time for sure last week.
Right, and I think I speak for everyone when I say we just want the warm temperatures to actually stay here and not leave us. So Kaylee, please tell us you have good news.
Well, I do have some good news for warmer temperatures, but will they stay? I'm not really for sure yet, but we are looking at your national temperatures here. Denver at 65, Billings at 59, Las Vegas over on the West Coast at 77, Dallas and Fort Worth at 60 degrees. Right here in the state of Indiana, Muncie currently is at 45 degrees, Indianapolis at 37, in the southern part of the state, Bloomington at 40 degrees, Shelbyville at 38, and in the northern part of the state, Kokomo at 34, and Fort Wayne at 38. So a little bit chillier temperatures. Tonight, expect a low of 38 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Winds again sticking around 12 miles per hour from the south-southwest. Tomorrow's high, definitely warmer temperatures than we saw today. A high of 59 degrees, partly cloudy skies, but windy temperatures are here to stay for the next few days. As you can see here, 25-mile-per-hour winds gusting up to 30, 35, 40 miles per hour possibly, so that will bring those temperatures to a little bit cooler, but again, sunny skies, warmer temperatures for almost April. Now, spring did start yesterday, so we hit a high today of 51 degrees, right about average for the end of March. But you can see here in 1972, we did hit a record of 72 degrees. Now with spring on the way, we do see those trees starting to bloom, flowers starting to bloom. We will see a lot of pollen in the forecast for tomorrow, so if you have allergy issues, be aware of that, as these temperatures fluctuating from warm to cold will make those sprout up. And precision cast, we do see storms in the forecast. Now we will be seeing temperatures a little bit colder after this storm does move through. You can see here Wednesday night, big long band of storms here, mix between rain and snow in Iowa and Nebraska, but as we move through Wednesday into the early morning hours of Thursday, we do see a huge rain band covering the most of the state of Indiana. Those showers will stay for the majority of Thursday, but you can see by the afternoon, those showers will have moved through, but again, colder temperatures expected after these. We are seeing huge wind gusts, as we do see wind gusts between 30 and 40, maybe even 45 miles per hour associated with this storm. So definitely be careful with those umbrellas out there. We don't want them breaking. Now your Easter forecast is on Sunday, partly cloudy skies, mid-50s with winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. So definitely lighter winds for the weekend. Now your 7-day forecast, again, Tuesday, high of 59 degrees. Very, very windy conditions will continue throughout the week. Wednesday, 20% chance of rain, 66 degrees, so definitely a little bit warmer. Thursday, we'll have those huge chances for thunderstorms, a high of 57. Cooler temperatures on Friday to start out your Easter weekend with a high of 47 degrees. Saturday, a high of 62 degrees with clear skies. And for Easter, we do see a high of 53 degrees. Again, will be great temperatures, clear skies for those Easter egg hunts that you have planned. And to start out next week, rainy conditions again with highs around the mid-50s.
Well, good to see that Easter is going to have some good weather for, like you said, the Easter egg hunts, the celebrations with the family. I kind of forgot yesterday was the first day of spring.
Right.
I guess it makes sense to have rain in the forecast for sure. Well, it'll certainly be a good time. Coming up, we will talk about the men's and women's basketball teams, both of which are continuing their postseason runs late in March.
Also, the gymnastics team made a statement with their second place finish at the MAC Championships this past weekend. All that and more when we return.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Hello and welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Robbie General with sports. The Ball State women's basketball team is on the road tonight in the second round of the Women's National Invitational Tournament. Ball State is facing off against St. Louis on the road. At halftime, the Cardinals trail the Billikens 22-23. While the Cardinals' shooting percentage was higher, the Billikens had 9 offensive rebounds in the first half compared to 3 from the Cardinals. Natalie Fontaine is leading the Cardinals' scoring attack with 10 points, and Mariah Monaco is right behind her with 7. The men's basketball team has had its share of March Madness this postseason as well. Ball State is coming off of 2 straight overtime wins in the CollegeInsider.com Invitational Tournament, the most recent of which was against UT Martin at Worthen Arena last night. With less than 1 minute 30 to go, Ryan Weber hit a 3-pointer from the left side, cutting the Cardinals' deficit to 8 points. Bo Calhoun then had the putback layup here, bringing the Cardinals within 4 of the Skyhawks with 44 seconds remaining in the game. Then with just about 10 seconds to go, Jeremy Tyler got the steal and found Franco House, who tied the game up at 71 apiece. In overtime, Sean Sellers got the Cardinals off on the right foot with the layup that would give Ball State the early lead. Sellers would then come back a few possessions later and hit a 3-pointer from the left side to tie the game at 76-76 at the 3-minute mark. 1 minute later, Jeremy Tyler did the same thing from the right side with 2 minutes left. The Cardinals tied the game once again. Ball State held an 83-80 lead with 11.3 seconds left in overtime. UT Martin had one last chance to tie the game, but Kedner Edwards missed the last shot for the Skyhawks, and Jeremy Tyler gained possession and ran the clock out for the Cardinals. Here's head coach James Whitford following the game.
You know, I thought they really out-competed us for the first 20 minutes of the game, and I had great respect for their coach and their team. And then with that being said, you know, we have a knack of playing for 40 minutes, and that's why you do. You know, it was a great ending for us, and a lot of times those down bounce your way, but you never give up. You keep fighting, and we've had back-to-back that we've been able to pull out. And really proud of our team, and great to see Bo step up and kind of be the bull of old.
With the victory, Ball State moved on to the quarterfinals of the CIT tournament and will face off against Columbia on Wednesday, March 23rd. The Lions are 22-10 this season. For the first time since 2013, Ball State Gymnastics will be sending 5 individuals to regionals in Iowa City. Denacia Christian, Sarah Ebeyer, Jordan Penny, Bailey Bell, and Caleb Beckler all qualified. The regionals will take place on Saturday, April 2nd at the University of Iowa.
An update from St. Louis. Ball State trails 37-36 at the end of the third quarter.
Well, certainly an exciting time for some Ball State basketball. Good to see the men's team advancing in the postseason. Hopefully the women can pull that victory off as well. Thank you very much, Robbie. Coming up, former wrestler Hulk Hogan is getting more money than first thought.
And a Dancing with the Stars contestant received stitches after an incident in rehearsal. These stories and more when we return with your entertainment news.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Billy Lehman, and here's all that's going on in the world of entertainment. Hulk Hogan's sex tape is earning him even more money. A jury in Clearwater, Florida decided to award the former wrestler an additional $25 million. This comes just days after he was awarded $115 million in his case against Gawker Media. The group was found to have invaded Hogan's privacy after finding and posting short clips of a sex tape that he took part in online. Gawker, which owns numerous gossip news websites including Gawker.com and Jezebel.com, is expected to appeal the case and seek to have the guilty verdict overturned. It was a busy night last evening at New York City's Radio City Music Hall as thousands of Batman and Superman fans alike lined the streets to see their favorite superheroes in person. The New York City premiere of the film Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice included appearances by stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, and Amy Adams, amongst others. After viewing the film, the stars made their way to the restaurant that was decorated to resemble LexCorp, the fictional company of villain Lex Luthor. Along with the decorations were life-size wax figures of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. The highly anticipated film is set to debut in theaters March 25th. Dancing with the Stars contestant Niall DeMarco had to receive stitches after an incident in rehearsal with partner Peter Murgatroyd. DeMarco, the winner of America's Next Top Model, was practicing a fast spin move with Murgatroyd when her elbow hit him just above the eye. The deaf model told reporters through an interpreter that he had received 4 stitches, but his spirits remained high. Season 22 of Dancing with the Stars began tonight on ABC. And that's all for entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Billy. Now, Kaylee, let's take one last look at weather.
Well, the trend for this week will be warmer temperatures and rain chances. Now, we do see the heaviest rain chances on Thursday with that possible severe threat. Now, on Friday, after that happens, we do see cooler temperatures in the forecast. But for your Easter weekend, beautiful skies. not many clouds, very high temperatures, a high of 62 on Saturday and a high of 53 for Easter. As you do see Easter egg hunts, finding those baskets, super fun for kids, and it'll be super exciting for them to have warmer temperatures along with that.
All right, thank you very much. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a wonderful evening.